Hi, I'm One Kidney Mike. I donated a kidney in February of 2025, and I'm training to climb 27 peaks in Montana that are above 12,000 feet to prove that kidney donation doesn't slow you down. And I'm here at the trailhead for Steamboat Mountain. I'll be attempting again, it's 2 weeks later, to get further than I did. I doubt I'm gonna get to the top. I was just talking to one of the Forest Service people here, and she was telling me that the snow drifts are gonna be pretty bad. So we're gonna go ahead and head up as far as we can. I've got my snowshoes again. We'll see how that does and give it one more try. It is an absolute beautiful day today here. I was going to start off with a fleece, and before I even put my pack on, I immediately took that off and was just like, yeah, it's going to be warm. As we go up in elevation, it'll obviously get cooler. So I do have a lot more gear than the last time I attempted, partially just to be prepared in case something crazy happens, but also just to add weight into my pack, because after all, I am training, and a lot of these peaks, the 27 peaks I'm going to be going to, like none of them are actually close to a trailhead that you drive up to. You have to walk in quite a ways because they're in the wilderness area. So some of them as far as 12, 14 miles. So I want to make sure that I can, gain the elevation while carrying the stuff I need, such as a tent and sleeping bag, pad, all that good stuff. Well, I made it to Elk Pass and I did it in pretty good time. I didn't stop too much to film. If you want to see more of that part of the trail, just check out my prior Steamboat Mountain attempt about 2 weeks ago. Well, this is the part of the trail on the last time when I was coming down with the snowshoes that I slipped and fell down a little bit. It was really hard part of the trail to get through just because of the snow, but as you can see, it's mostly melted out now, making it a lot easier. Just an absolutely beautiful view. Well, I'm running into some more snow on the trail, but it's not bad. Even though it's pretty deep, 2, maybe 3 feet in spots, it's pretty packed down. Well, there was certainly a lot less snow on the trail this time. It looks like this part of the trail going forward is going to have some snow on it. I think it goes back behind this north side of the ridge, so it doesn't get as much sun, and so I am expecting it to be deeper. It is really nice up here. Certainly nicer than the last time I was up here and it was snowing. I wish I would have brought the baskets to my trekking poles. It'd be a little more helpful right now. We're coming up over this rise, which should be a pretty good view. Well, there's lots of snow at least. I'm not sure where the trail is. The snow looks pretty deep. Luckily, I'm able to walk on top of it. So far. Interesting. Well, I've definitely lost the trail, but see where it came from over there. Okay, I met back up with the trail. I just followed that ridge there. I didn't want to really get too deep into the snow over here. The wind looks like it blows this way and just kind of deposits a lot of snow over there. So there's still quite a bit of snow and it looks pretty deep. So far I've been able to walk on top of it pretty easily. So that's not too big of an issue, but it looks like the path actually goes this way, along this side and then around this little hump here. Having seen the other side of this, I'm actually going to try and go around this other side and meet back up with the trail. There's Steamboat right there, coming around the this little knob right here. Hopefully gonna meet back up with the trail. Walking on talus is not a lot of fun. Had to put my trekking poles away. They were not helping. Well, I haven't made it very far because I'm starting to post hole through this snow to about, waist deep almost, maybe a little less, and it's hard work. So I'm going to try and put the snowshoes on. We'll see how they work. I'm almost at the ridge, and I didn't even think I'd make it this far. Just because the snow has been so difficult. But here we are to make it to the ridge. Wow. This isn't the top, but it's still amazing. Oh, so we just made it to the south side of the mountain, and now there's no snow really on the trail, at least the part that I can see right here. So I'm gonna leave my snowshoes by the snow and just hope that I won't need them for the rest of the hike. Well, I took a little detour off the trail because there was a great big snowdrift I didn't feel like walking through, so I cut through a switchback, but I went too far up, and by the time I realized it, I was just like, well, I might as well make it to this ridge here. I bet it's pretty cool, you know, looking over it, and I'm correct. It is very cool, and it is very steep. It's so beautiful. I made it to this high point here. It's not Steamboat Mountain, which is actually right there. But we've got some rain. I see rain showers all around here. So it's just a matter of time before it gets here. Like, it was forecasted to potentially rain, you know, to have some rain showers, so I don't really want to get caught in that. It's about 3 o'clock right now anyway, so I should be heading back. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't make it back or to the top of Steamboat, but I did make it to a peak that is on Peak Bagger. I don't know if it has a name or not, but I'm at least gonna mark it off. It's farther than definitely that Forest Service lady thought I could make it. And looking over there, I think it's possible to make it to the top, just not today. I'll be the rain will, I'm sure, is going to hit, and that's just going to be miserable. So, but I think I can make it. So, but we're going to head back now. I'm really happy with this. This is just incredible. In fact, from this spot, you can see my vehicle. Not very well. Well, let me show. And then you can see a lot of the trail too. Of course, on this little action cam, it's not that great, but this is just absolutely amazing. Well, I've got my snowshoes back on and I'm gonna head back down over the snow field, and I'm gonna see if I can stick on the original trail instead of going around on that scree field, but we'll see when we get there. Right now I need both hands because it's pretty steep and I don't want to slide down or fall down. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Yep. All right. We're gonna slide down. I'm gonna grab the camera before I slide down. There's this spot right here where even with the snowshoes, I sink down like quite a bit. Thank goodness it's just this small spot. The rest of it, I walk on top of the snow, so if it had been like this the whole way, I never would have made it this far. Well, I made it back to the spot where I decided to put the snowshoes on, just right up there at those trees. And that's why, is I was post-holing through this and it was not a lot of fun. It was a lot easier with the snowshoes, thank goodness. Okay, well, I got to the spot where I met back up with the trail after going over the scree field. I've decided to go back over that scree field again just because I know exactly what it's like, and we've got weather moving in over here, so I'm trying to hurry, but I'm also trying to film. And I am so much slower when I'm filming. I'm probably not going to film too much after this, just so you can get ahead of that. Okay, I made it back to the trail and through that talus field. I think I called it a scree field earlier, but scree, in my understanding, is very small rocks, and talus are larger rocks. And then, of course, it goes up from there to boulder fields, which are very large rocks. So it fall quite a few times. I can tell that my legs are getting very tired because it was just really hard to go through some of those spots. Well, I made it back to where the trail forks and where I was able to walk across the snow earlier today, evidently because it had warmed up more. I was falling through in quite a few places. It hasn't started raining yet, which is good, but it's certainly looking that way. And hopefully I'll be able to make it back to the van before it does start raining. Well, I've made it back to the trailhead. It's about 6:15. I started at about 9, so I think that's about 9 hours. Did a total of 11.6 miles that was recorded. There's about a quarter mile that, because I forgot to start the the workout right as when I left, but it's pretty close. We did make it to the top of a peak, not Steamboat like we wanted to. I think that if I hadn't have been filming, I could have made it. Filming really kind of slows me down. I got to work on getting a little bit faster on that. I am pretty wore out, but I'm very happy with the way that hike went. I think that given the snow obstacles and how that Forest Service lady didn't even think it would be possible, I'm pretty happy with that. And technically she was right. I didn't make it to the top of Steamboat. But like I said, I don't think that's because I couldn't make it, but because I was running out of time. So I didn't know how bad those rainstorms were going to be, and I certainly didn't want to be up on top of a peak. And so I think if I hadn't have been filming and moving quite a bit, you know, that I move quite a bit faster when I'm not filming, I think I could have made it to the top. I would have been probably reaching my limit. Right now, I'm really tired, but I feel like, you know, there's still a little bit left in the gas tank. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be pretty sore in the morning because of that talus field. And it gives me something new to add to my workout, strength training on my legs, just because it was very apparent when I was going across that I really kind of need to work on that strength. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and you'll join me again for another one. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing next, but it's going to be something. I guarantee that. And so thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. One quick thing I forgot to mention, I left my tripod when it started raining. I set it down and put the camera in my bag, and then forgot to put the tripod back in the pocket I normally keep it in. So I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow and pick that up. That'll be fun. Well, it ends up that I didn't leave it. I did put it in my pack. It just fell out right here. I'm glad that I was able to find it fairly easy. It's about 2 miles in, 1,000 feet up, and I did it in 40 minutes. So pretty happy with that, considering that I just went on that long hike yesterday. All right, see you later. Have a great day.